Hold on. It's preparing to go live, and we are live.
Okay, fantastic. Welcome to Ecamm for Educators. Yes, I love Matt Haas. Matt Haas always brings the good times. For November 2024, another month has gone by. I don't know if it ever sneaks up on you guys, but I'm always like, wow, it's been a month already. Holy smokes. But here we are, and today we wanted to focus on organizing our content in Ecamm, which, if you've been playing around or if you've been working with this for a while, you know it is easy to bloat our profiles. It's easy to lose track of things. It's easy to duplicate things. Too many of this, not enough of that. Things all over the place. So that is the topic for today. And quick around the room, how organized do you guys feel you are in Ecamm? So let's do like a 1 to 5 with our hands, where 5 is you are the master of organization. Your stuff has names, it's in folders, you have different profiles. 1 would be like, I'm so disorganized. I need some help in this area. And hello, April. April, I see April's putting in the chat. She's saying a 3. So she's got a 3. Nice. I give myself like a 2.
I was going to say it's only
Dep-
because 2.5 wasn't available.
It is available, actually. That number is available. Oh, Dick's a 3. Okay. Oh, Randall's a 7. Nice.
Oh, no.
Matt.
2.5.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I was like, wow, you're like way above.
Yeah.
And hello, Phil. Phil, I don't think I've met you before anyway.
No, I just thought I would join up and see what goes on here. I'm an educator in a sense as well, and I thought it'd be interesting to join you guys and see what you talk about, and see how it all pans out. Some people in
Absolutely.
the Ecamm community already know me, but yeah, that's really it.
Wonderful. Well, you're very welcome here. And this is like a kind of a hangout, a meetup to focus on a specific topic, but it's also a place to ask a specific question while we have a theme that we decide on. Like this month, we'll decide for next month. It's still a very loose plan. So, and it's also an opportunity to connect with David, myself, or anybody else in the group, because there's a lot of people here with a lot of experience. So whoever you connect with, network with, the idea is that we start to build a community, all of us as educators. So would you share, in what field are you educating?
I am a software. I actually am a software supplier, and I train people on how to use the software. So
Oh,
it's in
nice.
that kind of arena. But I do most of it remotely now. I used to be go face to face sort of thing, but a lot of the remote training I do is I always use Ecamm, and I've been an Ecamm user for probably 6 years, 7 years,
Oh,
something
nice.
in that arena. So I'm pretty experienced with it, and so yeah, it's a professional software, business to business kind of thing, and I use Ecamm to do all my remote training on Zoom or whatever. So yeah.
Excellent.
Mm,
Beautiful. All right.
mm,
Welcome. Software training. And David, is your
mm.
hand up because you want to say something?
Yeah, if that's okay. First of all, hi,
Sure,
Martin.
of
Good to see
course.
you. But I wanted to, because you asked about how organized we all are, there was a really interesting thread that I want to say Paul started, Paul Dixon, which goes right to this sort of organizing. And it was specifically about lower thirds and things like that. So, um, you know how we have placeholders for cameras? So the question was, could we get placeholders for uh, for overlays in general, for like text overlays maybe? So that way, I could say the guest one placeholder is on this scene and over there on that scene and over there on that scene, and and then I can assign a person's name. I could type someone's name into that placeholder. And then if I change that person's name in the placeholder, it'll change everywhere. The reason this came up is because right now there are 2 places where you can put things: in show in this scene, or show in current scene, or show in all scenes. And if you want things to be available in multiple scenes, you either have to duplicate, which gets really bloated, as you were saying, Tatiana, and messy, or put it in show in all scenes, which could cause problems. So in any case, it was just a really interesting thread. I have no idea if the guys are going to do it, but I thought it was a great idea to have. I don't know if it would be text placeholders or some other kind of placeholder other than cameras.
I do love that idea, especially for a person's name, because right now I have a template which is like first and last. And then I would have to go in, like when Randall did the live with me last Friday, I have this template and I had to go in and change it to Randall. And honestly, after all these years of using Ecamm, I'm actually stripping things down a lot. Rather than having more, I'm working on having less. But we'll see. We will see how that turns out. So I
did like
certainly.
Sorry. I was going to
No,
say, I
go
like
ahead.
the cursive font you used.
You liked the font I used for
Yeah, the
us?
cursive font. Yeah, mixing it between the
Nice.
block and the cursive.
Wait, can you pull it up so we can see?
Yes, definitely. So let me go
Not that I
to.
haven't ever seen cursive before, but you don't see it very often in like lower thirds and everything.
Okay, so it looks like this, where
Signature
block
almost.
for the first name and a little bit of script for the last name. And this is actually something that I was inspired by Kirk Nugent. And I saw him on his live streams doing something along these lines, and I loved it. So I used my own brand fonts and my colors, but I got to give props to Kirk who inspired me. And then for the live with Randall, I did do something fun where I put myself in this scene, and then Randall's face popped in the orange circle that you see here as the counselor. So we did have a nice time, but
That is adorable.
we wanted to have a good time. So visuals help us do that. So
Matt has a question, by the way.
Matt
when,
has a
yeah.
geeky comment question. Go for it, Matt.
Yeah, if this isn't the place to talk about that, I will totally understand. But I've noticed that when you add an asset to an overlay, a copy of that asset goes into your Mac's library folder. The library folder is an invisible folder at the hard drive level. It's not on the Mac user level. So everything I've ever put into Ecamm is in there if it was an overlay. My understanding is if it's a full screen video, those are not captured in that folder, but there are dupes of everything.
Matt, quick question. Sorry. Do you mean the library, the Ecamm library folder?
No.
Or in
Mac
addition to that?
The Mac, so you go Mac HD, and then there's an invisible folder called library that under the Go menu, you have to hit the Option key in order to see it. And then I think it's the library folder.
So you're seeing it in two different places. You're saying it in the Ecamm library folder and in the Mac library folder.
I'm not even sure where the Ecamm library folder is, but on your Mac.
So it may be that is where it's drawing from. And if that's the case, you're absolutely right. It doesn't put videos in there. That's why when you make a change or something, you have to your image assets should all still be there, but your video assets you'll have to find again.
Can I share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I do this? Okay, so I have no idea what's on my screen, but so if you go to Go, see how I have the Option key, I'm smacking it, and you go to Library, and then I think it's Application Support, and then Ecamm Live.
Yes, that's where Ecamm stores all of its stuff. Exactly.
This never goes away.
No.
Everything, and it's not just videos. You can't say videos don't go here. Videos do go here if they're video overlays. If they're full screen videos, they don't. So all those videos are going. Mine was 24 gigs. This is probably on my other computer is 24 gigs. This is probably even more.
You're right. This is where Ecamm stores all those assets. Absolutely.
So what I've been trying to do is get rid of them, and you don't want to do that. Difficult.
You don't because that's how Ecamm finds those things. It doesn't find them where
I know. Well, what I
Yeah.
did was I blew up my profile and then I emptied all of that out and I created a new profile. And then I was kind of skirting away around it. It seems like the XML for where all that stuff is located is still valid. It just points to emptiness. So if you, there's no easy way to like get rid of it because
Why do you want to get
But
rid of it?
when you delete your seeds inside of Ecamm, wouldn't it delete those reference files too?
negative. The full files
Really?
are still there, and the XML marker is still pointing to them. They're still there,
What if you delete the entire profile?
still there. They never go
Oh,
away.
that's weird. That's odd.
It's a constantly bloating thing. Now it doesn't slow down Ecamm if you've taken them out of your scenes, but it's filling up your hard drive, and it will not purge them ever. So, bottom
and if
line, I
you
didn't buy enough storage on my MacBook Pro. I'm on my Mac Mini now.
yeah, but
And
this library picks everything up. What's that you have on your computer or that you're using on Ecamm. But if you remove it also within Ecamm, will it remove there also, or will it come back again?
it's always there, and it never goes away. It's undeletable. Anything you put in a scene is duplicated into that hidden Mac OS level folder, not your Mac user level folder. Not it's always there. So
And you
Matt,
have no
I'm in
problems
the
with
folder.
oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm in the folder right now. Library. What after library? What was it?
application support,
Application support. I
and
just
then
wanna
you'll
see
see
how big
Ecamm
mine is.
Live, Zoom, and Ecamm Live. Just go into Ecamm. And
Boy,
then,
you have a lot of stuff, Matt, because mine's only 7.2 gigabytes.
well, I used to do
I
a
thought
lot
I had
of
a lot, but
I used to do a lot of WebM like videos with transparency, and
yeah,
I thought I like you, David. I thought, oh, if it's a video, it's not stored.
right.
Not true. If it's a full size video, it's not stored. But if it's an overlay
Interesting.
video, it is.
Really interesting.
I think the only way to really get rid of it would be to this is like the nuclear option. Manually nuke that application support folder, open up Ecamm. It'll still point to everything. They'll all be empty. Then make a new profile and then delete that old profile. And that's probably unless you buy a new Mac or wipe your Mac clean, 0 byte the whole thing. Anyway, so it's just a file. It's just a file bloated hard drive thing. It's not a slow down Ecamm thing. Because again, if you take it out of the scenes, it's actually, as far as Ecamm's concerned, it's not messing with it anymore. It's not slowing it down. But
How big did you say yours was, David?
Sorry, 7.25.
And mine's 35. How much was yours, Matt?
35
27,
gigabytes.
27,
Mine's
Wow.
27
35
gigs.
Mine's
What are
4.
you guys doing? Dear Lord.
It was 3.5 years worth of stuff. I had things that were so old because I actually looked at them. If it was a ping, I opened them up in Photoshop right out of that invisible application support folder, and I'm like, week 2 of Ecamm, I put this asset in there. It's still there. So anyway, I
Wow,
don't know
mine's
if that's
yeah.
worth putting in a request for. Like if the twins could say nuke my entire profile off my computer, maybe no one would even want that. But I
wonder if some of
Used
the
to buy a
Click
bigger
My Mac apps would work.
who knows? I don't know. So I don't want to take up any more time because this is really geeky. Like this isn't,
Yeah.
and it's not a slow down
just-
Ecamm thing.
Just a little question, Matt. You found it in caches? That one?
I didn't quite hear you. It's under the Go menu in the library, and then
caches?
application support.
Oh, application support, because you have also cache. You have also
Caches, okay, yes, and there's other parts too.
com.ecamm, yeah.
I think there's com.ecamm, and then there's a preferences one. See, when you
Yeah.
have a Mac application, it splashes in a whole bunch of different areas. I was just worried about the heavy assets that are taking up megabytes worth of storage. But yeah. Anyway.
Wow, Matt, thank you. You have now made me very aware of a very large file I didn't know I had.
Well, sometimes on my Mac,
it's like finding out you have a health issue and you're like, what? I had no idea.
Well, you could just do a search in the Finder for files over 500 megs and it'll show them all to you. And sometimes that stuff will pop up and then you can look at the breadcrumb and see where it's at. So anyway.
Okay.
So
yeah, worth
having
looking
some fun
into. I
with
feel like
that.
this is a good question.
Moral of the
for
story, never
some-
buy a Mac with a 256 gig hard drive. It's too small. It's too small.
For sure. For sure.
Thank you for
And-
indulging me, team.
Matt wins the
Yeah,
prize
yeah.
for the geekiest organization tip today.
Question. Let's see. I actually, well, I'll come back to April. April, have you introduced yourself to us before and told us a little bit about what you do as an educator?
No, in fact, I am newer to Ecamm, have only been using it about a month, and we started using it as a part of our Bible studies, worship services, and other events and trainings that we use. So
Welcome.
I'm new and really just trying to learn now what is I see what a profile, but I don't know that I've ever set any up. So I'm not even really sure. Like I've saved scenes and exported them to bring them back in, but it's not set up as a profile. So I'm just learning, listening to everyone.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm going to just give an overview. Anybody chime in with anything you'd like. It's a very open conversation, but essentially inside of Ecamm, we can create profiles. And one of the most common ways to use profiles that I use it is, for example, I have one profile for my public speaking class, one profile for my social media class, one profile for a template, and then people who do multiple shows can create different profiles. And it makes sense if the scenes that you're created are going to be different. If they're not going to be different, you don't necessarily have to have multiple profiles. So let me go into live demo mode here.
Hey, Tati, while you're doing that, I just want to throw out that it's not only if your scenes are going to be different, and this is why I don't use profiles. I have one profile and everything is in it, because when you have overlays that you may want to pull up, even silly fun ones, if they're not in every profile, then you don't have access to them. So I decided when I started this journey that I just want to have access to everything. And for me, my organization is going to be through folders. But let's do profiles. Yeah.
So my personal opinion right now for ease of use is that I would like, now that I have come up with a template, a theme, a look for things, I would rather have folders. So if you guys can see in my scenes menu right now, I do have folders in this profile. I created a me plus a guest, when it's me and one other person, template. And then I copied that template for when Randall and I did our live on Friday. So I have a countdown timer and then me and one guest, the scene where I showed you where we're with this graphic. The segment was divided into 3 topics: problem, cause, solution. So I have one scene for the problem with Randall and I both on it, one scene for the cause, one scene for the solutions, and this is where I put up the solutions on screen as we listed them. Then I had another scene when we played truth or trash, and me by myself, my guests by themselves, a screen share. When we did stream alive, this is just what's on my other screen here. I did want to tell you guys about this teaching test kitchen that I'm doing, and then when we talked about how we can connect. And then we did this goodbye scene over here with music and comments and everything. Just got to come back to a scene where I'm on here by myself. So I am I feel like you have a very good point, David, that folders could be a better way than different profiles, especially because for me, if I am in Ecamm for Zoom, like I am today, right? I'm using Ecamm for Zoom. I'm not using Zoom standalone. You cannot switch profiles if you need to get something. I mean, it's not a good practice to have to be switching profiles anyway, but you definitely can't go get something. And the what I find frustrating switching profiles is the sound effects not all being there. So once you build the sound effects library and you have your sound effects, if you switch profile, those things won't automatically be there. So I guess what I'm saying is this is going to have to be a personal choice, a personal decision for you based on your needs. The simplest way would be you have one profile and multiple folders for things. And then this way, your sound effects library is nice and intact. But, if April, for someone like yourself, you're new, you're learning this, profiles and folders is going to be really great. So when you're in your scenes menu here, that little folder at the bottom is how I did have a class that landed on Halloween. So when I taught that class, I made some Halloween scenes and I put them in a Halloween folder because I'm not going to access them again, possibly ever, or might do something different next year. And you see I have 1, 2, 3 scenes that are not attached to a folder right now. So they're not really organized. They're kind of just lingering. So I need to work on my organization too. But how do the rest of you guys organize your content inside of Ecamm? Are you using folders? Are you using multiple profiles? What do you think?
Call to actions folder, and then the scenes that are call to actions are in there. And then all the other scenes are loose, which aren't many. It's the main screen, the screen share, and a few others.
Matt, since I know you have multiple live shows that you run, do you have different folders for those live shows or are you using different profiles?
Different profiles.
Okay. So each one of your shows, like Awesome Fun Things, has its own profile.
Right. And Awesome
Okay.
Wood Things, which I don't stream a lot to, but it has its own profile. And now I have another profile for my Amazon side hustles.
So
Yeah.
what's, if I could ask, what is the advantage to creating? Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, if I create a folder for this particular class or a folder for that class, I just import that into Ecamm and we go from there. I'm I'm just in my mind trying to process what would be the advantage to me having a profile for each class.
It keeps your palettes manageable. What's in each palette?
Right. So if you have a profile for one class in your scenes palette, you're only going to have the scenes that are part of that profile. In your overlays palette, you'll only have the overlays that are part of that profile. So Matt's exactly right. If you want to sort of streamline your Ecamm experience and just see what you're going to need, then I think Matt actually just hit the nail on the head. Then profiles are the way to go. If you prefer to just have access to everything and you're already an obsessively, compulsively organized person, not really reflecting on myself necessarily, then using folders may be the way to go.
I think the folders will work for me. Partially, so I'm a voice actor as well. So all of my files for my clients are organized in different folders. So for my brain, I think that works. And the other thing I wanted to say is, David, you are the reason why I'm using Ecamm. I think I was watching your videos on YouTube and you demystified it for me.
Yes.
I just rubbed like that's
oh no,
so anyway, thank you.
Thank you,
Yay.
April. Good to have
David,
you
get
here.
in the affiliate program, David, if you're not in there.
Yeah.
I am in the affiliate program.
Fabulous. Really good. And that's always the way it goes is we meet somebody. I remember the person who brought me into Ecamm first taught me about it in 2021 was J. Michael Hall, who I don't see him around a lot, but he's an educator who brought me in. So that's really great, April. But my original plan was I will have different profile for each one of my classes because I thought they were going to be so different. But then I'm finding that there's some lessons I want to teach to both classes, and then I'm copying where But the thing is, I teach for 3 hours each class. And so there's a lot of content to go through. And then things get big and heavy and bloated too. So I am working on minimizing it a bit. So
Actually, you know what? Sorry, you just made me think of something else, which could be another reason to use profiles. And this goes back to Matt about maybe the bloating, is that if you're working with 256 gigs, you could you? I don't know if you could. You could offload your profiles that you're not using to an external hard drive, and then I'm not sure now that you made us look in the library. I'm not sure that this actually works, but I wonder if that could be helpful. That you could get those profiles off of your computer to save space.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Well,
wonder.
that's another question. Can you run Ecamm from an external drive if you've got
I wouldn't recommend it.
okay, just didn't know if you could do that or not.
You can. I mean, they actually say that they don't recommend that you keep your assets and things like that in
on the external.
iCloud either. It does work, but the problem is that it does work. But whenever
it's the speed. I've tried it, and I had a low frequency or a low bitrate connection. And then you see that it will stutter. It will not come easily. So if you had on the Mac itself, then it's all directly available, and you have no problems.
If you
So
have a
even-
new M4 Mini with a Thunderbolt 5 OWC drive, then you'll be fine. But otherwise,
That's what I have in Sequoia. Oh, that's okay. So you can do that if
you're on
got
the M4 Mini.
Not the M4, the one below that.
Oh no, I mean the M4 because it has Thunderbolt 5 now.
Okay.
Which is the fastest. Like it's just ridiculous.
The M4 Pro has Thunderbolt 5. I don't think the regular.
Sorry. The Pro. Thank you.
I think of it this way. Running your assets on the local drive eliminates a potential problem. You can do it on an external drive, but it'll work until it doesn't work. Or it might work 50 times, but your 51st time, you might have a problem. I don't want any of that headache right off the hard drive.
You know what's so funny, Matt? It's the same with Wi-Fi. It'll work
It's just safer.
until it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a risk.
Yeah.
You're taking a little bit of a risk there. Now, I want to ask you, Martin, because you make profiles, sell them, sometimes give them away for free too. So how do you organize your stuff, Martin? Because you have tons and tons and tons of assets. Oh, for some reason we can't hear you, Martin. Not yet. Can't hear you yet. I'll let you know when we hear you.
That is.
Now you can hear me.
Oh, there
Yes,
we
we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. So occasionally Ecamm seems to switch sounds on me and connects me to a microphone that I don't even know that I've got, like Wavelink something or other. What is that? Why do I have these 10 microphones that I don't know where the sound's coming from? But anyway, I'm back on the Scarlett USB.
It does weird stuff for me too with Zoom.
So yeah, a couple of quick comments actually, generalized comments. I think I've got something like 80 profiles. Just had a quick look in my list there. So I hate to go and have a look at that library that Matt's talking about because I suspect mine's ginormous. So
1 terabyte.
but maybe I'll if I'm feeling like I'm a glutton for punishment, I might go and do that. But
I really want to know. I really want to know, Martin.
Now you got it curious.
I'll let you know afterwards, Tatiana, once I've braved myself up to looking for it. But yeah, quick question for you actually, David. In terms of profile versus folders, if I had everything that I've got in a single profile, it would be hundreds and hundreds of folders wide. But more than that, what I believe happens is every time you open a profile is that Ecamm temporarily loads everything into that profile, effectively into RAM, for want of a better description. So if you've got lots of videos and stuff like that, I believe that they're all thrown into the RAM. So if you've got a massive profile with loads of videos on, does that not happen to you, or do you not have lots and lots of videos?
I don't have a ton of videos, but I don't know. You might be right. I don't. I think I have 2 videos loaded in all of my. I have probably 100 or 200 scenes, but maybe just a couple of videos. So,
Yeah,
it's a great
yeah.
question.
I don't know that for a fact. I mean, absolutely what Matt was saying earlier on. Videos in general don't get logged into profiles, but if you put a video as just a WebM file into your profile, then it will get stored with the profile, and you can share that profile with the video in it with audio as well.
I'm told it's a little different than that. From what I understand, any asset you have as an overlay will be stored on the Max library application support, that area. Doesn't matter if it's a MP4, doesn't matter if it's a WebM. The only way it won't is if you use the legacy full screen video with sound. That is not stored in the library.
Just slight cross purposes. I wasn't really talking about the storage on the Mac, just whether or not it stores in the profile.
Okay.
So
got it.
If I was sharing a profile with you and I just dropped an MP4 file into the profile, my profile would run fine. When I sent it to you, it wouldn't run because the MP4 file doesn't come to you.
It doesn't export out with when you export. Okay, got it.
But if I'd stored as a WebM file and sent you the profile, then you will get that video to play.
Understood.
So that's just.
WebM is also a cheat code to get sound, because you can have a WebM as a overlay and the sound will come through.
That's what I did when I wanted to just have a little check mark for a correct answer appear on screen with a ding, or a little incorrect answer with a little, wrong error kind of a thing. I had to go through go into Final Cut Pro, put the 2 things together, export it as Apple ProRes 4444 or 422, I forget which one, bring that into Shutter Encoder, and then pick the export setting, then make that the WebM file, and then bring that into Ecamm as an animated overlay. So it was a lot. It was a lot. I have submitted a request for us to be able to have sound with overlays in Ecamm.
Does anyone know why? Does anyone know why you have to convert it to WebM? I don't know enough about this stuff to understand that.
To maintain the sound with it is my one understanding.
No, but why? Why couldn't you just drag an MP4 in as an overlay and have audio?
I can guess.
That I don't know.
It's probably a happy accident that probably wasn't even intended, based solely on the nuances of the file format itself. That would be my guess. Someone just figured it could work, and that's been going around as the pro tip. I don't think they intended it as a developer. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. Just going off of what I know about application development. I haven't read anything that made me think that or anything.
I have no idea.
Sorry, we're getting really geeky. I think it's my fault. So.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, so I think the most important thing...
it's licensing, if you really want to know. So WebM is an open license that allows whoever the WebM organization was, because it was a group of companies, let's say Adobe and Microsoft. I'm not saying it is them, but it's that kind of conglomerate, allowed the ability to have both video and audio go through to wherever it was going to be processed, which is, originally it was designed for the web, hence the web name, but it happens to work with Ecamm. because and it's open. It's an open license as well. So
Interesting.
that's why. By the way, I always convert my. If you want to convert a video to WebM, I use Handbrake, which a lot of people will already use Handbrake to make your videos incredibly small, but it will make a WebM for you as well. So you don't have to use the Shutter one that Tatiana just mentioned. But
I've
it's
used
another alternative.
Yeah, I used Handbrake as well, and for some reason, the icon for Handbrake, which is the little like pineapple cocktail drink, kept disappearing. I have no idea why, and it would just become a question mark. Then I would go to applications, open it up again. I don't know why, but I have used both of them successfully, and just this past week I got Set App thanks to Doc Rock and Paul Duncan. I'm exploring Set App things. And I'm hoping that there's something inside of that one, an app inside of Setup that will make it just a little bit more seamless to convert things. But I haven't explored that just yet.
I'll be curious what your experience is because I've been debating trying Setup as well.
I know Doc, right after we talked about it, he made a video. I remember we were on a live stream and I said, all right, I've got this thing. Now I need to know what your top apps or different uses, uses for somebody like myself. What would we need to be looking for? So he did post a video just this week on his channel about that, Randall. So I'll find it and share it in the chat. But I know for sure that he.
Was there a particular app that you liked in the Setup offering?
There was one that I was looking at for my public speaking class called Speako. I don't know if it's really any good or not, but then Permute, I think, was one that came up as something that I was going to use, and I'm blanking on the reason that I would use that right now. I did use it. Movavi, wow, I actually have, I bought that one like so many years ago, and so I guess they're still around, huh? Martin, I see that you have Movavi's link there. I'm going to just grab Doc's link. So if anybody else wants to share for a little bit about how you organize your stuff, please do.
I can, for me, the most important part of my organization is the mapping to Stream Deck, because I never interact with Ecamm during when I'm doing anything. Everything that I do happens directly through the Stream Deck. So, I mean, I'm obsessive compulsive, so everything is in folders and everything is nice, neatly organized. But for me, the most important thing is just that, that I know that this button is going to trigger that, and that button is going to trigger that. So for me, that's been the most important part of my organization.
That's a good point, David. I have the Stream Deck XL. Does everybody know what a Stream Deck is? Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Just want to make sure. So I got the Stream Deck XL and I use it for some things, but I am so used to using my mouse and looking at the Ecamm menu that I'm having a hard time breaking the habit. And I'm underutilizing the Stream Deck. I also got the Stream Deck pedal so that I could be more hands-free. Because these are all very good ideas, but my brain, I need to retrain muscle memory to not rely so heavily on. But the other thing for my way of teaching specifically is I do still think like a slide deck with animations, and Ecamm doesn't do a great job of replicating that just yet, because it's like you would have to go to the next scene, the next scene, the next scene, rather than I want to be able to show and unshow things within a scene. I would love to be able to have a bit more control inside of that.
I'm counting
Matt,
4, David.
Sorry, I'm not showing them off. I'm trying. My OBSBot got all. It stopped. Stopped. What do you call it? Update. There we go. Yes, yeah, I use 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you use all 4 at the same time?
I do. I mean, so the way that I have it organized is this one here is my main Ecamm one. So this is like my main scenes, or if I have a show, this is where my shows are. But this is basically scenes down here. This one up here is basically overlays. So I have 2 pages here. I've got sort of media and support. That's what I'm on now. So if I want to, this is where I have, I don't know, my Fenwick framer and stuff like that. And then I've got my overlays stuff here. This guy over here is my Zoom controller. So all of my Zoom buttons, and the only thing that's over here is Zoom. And then this guy here is Zoom OSC. So I'm in this meeting twice now. You probably see both of me, TTG Productions. And so I can, just by pressing a couple buttons, I can quickly spotlight and unspotlight folks. So, so yeah, I'm using them all at the same time.
So the one that the Excel that you're using for your scenes,
Yep.
you're switching. You would have to reset all of those if you switched profiles. Your scenes will be totally different.
Right. I mean, presumably, I would build a different. I'd build a different Stream Deck layout for a different profile. Is what I would do. And the truth is, I mean, you can switch profiles right in here. So, because Stream Deck has profiles also. So each of these shows could be their own profile, but for me, it's just a folder instead. That's all. Yeah. April, did you want to jump in?
You have your hand up.
I do. So I'm trying to wrap my brain around this. I have a stream.
Oh, April, I don't know if it's just me, but it's kind of cutting out the audio there.
Yeah, she froze a little bit. April, come back. Yeah, by the way, the Stream Deck iPad app is fantastic, Matt. I used, it's funny, at home, I used the Stream Deck. I used it on my phone for a while.
Yeah,
and
I have it
then
on my phone.
And then one of my Stream Deck XLs stopped working, and I sort of lost my mind for a moment. So I immediately bought a new one to replace it, only to come back and find that it actually is working. I didn't have plugged it in. So what I ended up with an extra XL, which I could then take home. And I got to say, you're right that for $24 a month, using it on the iPad is fantastic. A year, sorry, is fantastic. But for me, the tactile buttons are just really important.
But also
no argument there.
Yeah.
The app does give you 6 free buttons if you want to
right.
check it out too. So even
Absolutely.
just 6 additional free buttons, if you download it on your phone or some other device you just want to have near you, you get 6 additional controls.
Which is super, I mean, unless you're crazy, 6 is a lot.
Says
April,
the guy
we
who has
couldn't hear you before,
27
April.
Stream Decks.
Yeah, I'm on my iPad, so I know what happened. So my question is, like, I went in Stream Deck and downloaded the buttons for, the profiles for Ecamm. So am I to understand that you have a button for every single scene, not just next scene or previous scene?
Most.
Yeah, it's a good question. So the first thing I would do is delete that Stream Deck profile that Ecamm gave you.
Okay.
I would not use that.
Okay.
Because it's not set up for you. It's a generic one and it's great, but you want something that is set up for you. So yeah, I mean, fundamental. Look, I only have like 3 main scenes that I toggle between. So if so I've got a main camera scene, a pips, like a side-by-side scene, and then a full screen scene. These are kind of my main scenes right here. I've got an iPad on my desk, so I've got 2 scenes for that, but honestly, I never use that. I've got some other garbage on here, but it's really kind of it. But then I have all these different shows. So for this show, I've got all my different scenes, and for this show, so yeah, I have a different page on my Stream Deck. So a different, and in Stream Deck language, I actually do use profiles. So a different profile on the Stream Deck for each thing, so that I can only access the scenes that I want to access for that particular event, or whatever I'm doing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you buy a custom stand to do the third one on top so you could organize like that, or is the third one sitting on a shelf above?
No, I've actually gone through a bunch of different stands. You can the place to get these is on Etsy. There are guys who just 3D print them. So I had the first one that I had was, let me think for a second. At one point I had 2 stands side by side. One of them had 2 XLs, top and bottom. The other one had an XL and then my the regular one on top. And I don't remember why, but then I switched it. I got this 3 XL stand, and then I put the plain one off to the side, and then I put my trackpad next. Sorry, down. This is my trackpad here, which I really only use for zooming in and zooming out. And that's the only reason it's there. Yeah, the Etsy's the place to get those. I'm really surprised that Stream Deck hasn't made good stands.
Organizing the workspace is a dangerous rabbit hole. I'm always wanting to.
It is. Yeah, Matt could make you some stands, though. That would actually be really nice, Matt.
Look, this is like up off the desk.
Oh, wow.
Because it's close to the camera, so I don't have to look down on. I just have to glance down 5 degrees rather than.
That's really smart.
But you
Hope
got
that makes sense. Yeah. And I had to do it so this boom arm doesn't crash it. So there's like a cavity here.
Right.
It's janky looking, but it works.
I love that.
Good job. It looks really nice. And I also wanted to show that with the Stream Deck, I mean, you can control anything. And I know that most of you already know that. I'm just going to share my. So if I'm right now, I'm just sharing my Stream Deck, and so I'm, like I said, I'm underutilizing mine, but this is how I've set it up with certain things. So the first folder brings me into Ecamm controls. Then the second one is I go into this one and I've got all my links. So at the press of a button, anybody asks me for my website, my LinkedIn, my YouTube, my Pinterest, my whatever, or all my links, or my email, my phone number.
And it pops it in the chat? Is that what that is?
It pops it in the chat, and it
Nice.
also automatically hits enter afterwards as well. So all I have to do is press the button and it sends. I don't have to then
That's
come into
awesome.
Zoom chat or anything. So that was a really helpful way for me to organize some of the content here. But then I also plugged in a shortcut key to open up my cursor, the yellow circle thing that I use pretty often. So I'm trying to tell myself what are things that I use often and that I want to put in here. So I have a lot of figuring out to do, but in the Ecamm one, this is the most fun one that I have. It's the selfie one, so that inside of Ecamm it will take the picture and it gives me a 5-second countdown, and it's visual on the button as well, so I can see. Then I can do hands-free selfie shots rather than having to hold the key down or anything. So that was good use. And then shortcut to live demo mode and some sound. Right now it's mostly just sound effects that I have, but I am underutilizing the Stream Deck. That is
You know what my
something that I need to
favorite
do.
button on my Stream Deck is? I that uncomfortable time when you've said goodbye to everyone in the Zoom meeting, and then you have to search for the end button, and then after you press the end button, there's a "Are you sure you want to end" button. I have a button on my Stream Deck that says "End Meeting," and I press it, and immediately it changes my scene to my hold scene. It closes the meeting. It shuts my light. It does everything. I never have to search for that end. I never have that odd few moments, which is so funny.
Nice. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like you've got to figure out what are the things you do all the time and then program your stream deck with
Yeah.
those things or the things that are the most helpful to you. And one thing that I heard Philippe Nardi talking about, who's a big OBS guy, is the four corners are easy, so much easier to find in a tactile way with a large stream deck, and the smaller ones are a little better for that because you can, feel for them a little bit more. So I am making the lower left hand corner, which is closest to my hand, the things that I need to do more often, to repeat more often inside of the folders. But, the cool thing is you can make folders inside of folders on the Stream Deck too. So it's not just the 30 something buttons, however many it is. 4 times, what is it? 4 times 8 that I have on here.
Yeah, 32.
So I have 32 buttons on this one, and then you could just keep multiplying. But the question that I wanted you guys to think about too is like, so what is one thing that you could work on to feel like you're making progress with your organization or your profiles? Mine is actually making fewer scenes, having more template type of scenes, not having so many different looks. Like, why do I have to have different looks for all these things? Why can't I just have one look? Like, if you come to my kitchen, I'm not going to redecorate my kitchen every time. So I am trying to be more concise. So I'm just wondering, what are you guys working on when it comes to organization for your Ecamm or your Stream Decks?
Yeah, I'm building like the profiles. I've some yes, more like you say the templates that I have, so I can easily take, if I have to build something new, that I can pick up a template, and then I have you call the other one, but I have made a folder called projects, and there I put in, if I have to some kind of project I'm working for, then I can just grab that and put there in all these scenes, how you call it, every screen you put in there.
In your scenes?
Overlays?
Or your overlays?
The overlay. You have the overlays. Yeah, if we have now a screen, and then I have my overlays on it, and this is
Yes.
one setting. How was that called?
Scenes, do you mean?
Is that a scene? Okay, yeah. Then I have multiple scenes just for these lessons or workshops that I give.
The way that I like to think about it, Dick, is Ecamm is like the whole house. Ecamm, the program, is the whole house. Then your scenes are each room inside of your house. And then overlays are all the items inside of the room. So scenes is the room. Overlays are all the things that you would see inside of a room. That helps me remember how Ecamm is organized.
I do the layer cake thing. That the
so I don't know
scenes are
that
the
one. What's that one?
No, just
Folks,
that
I got to jump off. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Just that scenes are kind of the base, and then you can build on top of them by just adding overlays and overlays.
Can you say that again, David?
No, because it's not as good as the house one. Stick with the house one.
No, but for me it's just more a basic. Lately I had to teach some students with their exam. We had a lot of exam questions, and I do not make a scene for every question. What I did, I built it in Excel, and I had one screen where I can have my Excel, and then I put in a number for a question, so it can be random or just in the book or whatever, and it's just on this sheet that the students will see, and I have my other Excel sheet where I can look for the questions and see the numbers, etc. So I can put that in, and that's how I do it. So I did only need 2 scenes just for the start and one for the Excels to show.
Because that would be a screen share one. You're screen sharing the sheet.
I'm
Or
screen sharing, yes. And then I say, okay, do the screen share of just the Excel, and can say what kind of file it is. So even if you have a PowerPoint, you can show your PowerPoint and then put that in your as an overlay, and then have your PowerPoint in it.
right. Yes.
So I prefer to also to use keynotes. I'm very used to that, and I prefer that to use and not make it completely an Ecamm. And if I hear Matt about that, it's a lot of storage. I think, okay, that's
Right. That's got me rethinking doing a lot directly in Ecamm because like you, I was mostly doing everything in Keynote and then screen sharing.
yeah.
And I'm now thinking like, oh man, maybe that's not such a great idea. But one additional tool that I am enjoying using a lot, and I think I tell you guys about this all the time though, is video pencil so that I can still, teach some concepts
Okay,
on
but
screen.
Tatjana, before you go about our first thinking, I will say it is easy if you have everything in Ecamm, because I have a lot of preparations before to put everything available. So I have to open my Excel or my Keynote, etc., etc. So I must make that available. If you have it in Ecamm, then you say, okay, just click and I go to that slide. I have not that available directly. So there's also maybe something to think about how to organize. If you do it in Ecamm, then it's available. You have your sheet directly available. If I want to have a sheet from another set, then I have to open that new set from Keynote, for instance, and go to that slide to open it. So it's more preparation.
Yeah.
Am I clear, or am you I see you're thinking?
I am thinking so what you're talking about has me thinking. So for example, inside of my own Ecamm, I so I'm doing live demo mode so you can see what I'm talking about. I made this template, right, for me and a guest. So I have the template and then I copied it and then did all the customization that is applicable to when Randall was doing the live with me last week. So then I've got the countdown scene, me and the guest,
Yeah.
and then these were, and then I would have, when we came on, when we're talking, I put the subtopics on when it was time to put the subtopics on, and I put the highlighters on when it's time to put the highlighters on, the little star. So, but this only applies for when it's me and Randall talking about this particular topic. So if I were to now my template, I copy this again, and I would have to come inside Ecamm and do this all over again with different topics. So that's the part that I'm wondering, is there a better way? Because typing inside of Ecamm all of these text files is not the most efficient. So this is where I'm leaning more towards going back to doing these kinds of things in Keynote. That makes it much faster, much easier, and I can do animations very quickly. And now with the point that Matt made earlier about these additional files in here, I am right as of right now, as of today's session, leaning towards doing more things in Keynote than directly in Ecamm.
Yeah, but what I will say is you have this set, and there was a question. Okay, but how will you do that in Ecamm? Then I think, okay, I have something. I have a Keynote separate. Everything about Ecamm, I have to open that. I have to prepare that. But if you have it in Ecamm, then you open your own map with Ecamm stuff, and then you can go directly to it. So that's then more easy if you have it directly available.
I also think it's potentially less wear on your computer. And well, again, now that Matt has kind of blown all of our minds with that little tidbit, I'm not sure if this is true anymore, but generally speaking, you not having too many other apps open at the same time helps your computer. So if you can get away with not opening Keynote, then yeah. But there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in Keynote that. Thank you so much. That I would miss if I couldn't use it.
Yeah.
Tati, you were just showing Video Pencil.
Thanks.
I don't know if you all have seen this yet, and I don't know if it's going to work because this is incredibly beta. But let me see if I can get it. So check this out. Hold on a second. So I'm talking. Okay. Now I'm frozen now, right?
Yes.
So I can now go back in time and I can scroll through. It has instant replay.
Wait, what has instant replay?
Video Pencil.
Get
So
out.
this is yeah. I don't have the audio coming through right now, but yeah. Wait, let me see I wonder if I could show this to you. Will this work? Let me see. Hold on. I have to do that. Okay, yeah. So this is what the interface looks like. So basically, if I just let it go, okay, so I'll stop it. So we're getting that thing, sorry. So it is always recording. It is always recording. I press stop, and now I can go back in time and play that back again.
I was just somewhere on Ecamm World where somebody was asking for an instant replay inside of Ecamm because they wanted to be able to. I don't know if it was sports related. The first thing I thought about was sports, but there was a reason why people wanted an instant replay. Wow, I had no idea Video Pencil. Michael Forrest was even thinking about this.
It's in the test. What's it called? What's that thing?
Beta?
No, not beta. Test flight. It's in the test flight version. And it's you'll have to pay for it, I think. But yeah, it's fun. It's cool.
Is it then recording for a certain length of time, like
30 seconds?
So okay,
right.
Yeah.
So it is always recording 30 seconds, and then just recording over itself. Deleting. I hope. Okay. Deleting, and recording.
You'll have to. That's why you're running the beta.
Right.
When you find your computer's completely full, right. You'll go.
Library folder.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're doing sports, this is a nice little feature, I think.
In Video Pencil, I mean, I've got an old iPad that I use it on, so I could use it right now, and there you go. And I've got an old iPad, and I was always what's the developer's name?
Michael Forrest.
Yeah, Michael. So I've been a lot in touch with Michael because my iPad requires me to use NDI. Are you on iPads that are newer that don't require you to use NDI? You are. There's a big nod from David.
Yeah.
Mine are using NDI. Mine does.
You are.
And I actually switched off from an older iPad and I have it on. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's much newer than the previous one. And because I kept having crashing issues with Video Pencil on my older iPad. So now I use it on the newer iPad, but I am using it through NDI. I'm using it with NDI.
Well, I would ask why if you don't have to. Do you know if you can get by without using NDI?
I assumed that I didn't have a choice with this one. How would I know if I had a choice?
There, in your settings on Video Pencil, you can turn the NDI off. And if you look under NDI, he does say that, you can use it and it would be theoretically better without using NDI.
Okay.
Sorry for anybody who doesn't use Video Pencil, we're now boring you. But at least there's three of us.
I have it. I just need to learn how to really do it. I can do it on my iPad, but I haven't been able to make it within Ecamm. So I just have to watch a video.
It's not easy, in my opinion.
Oh, yes, it is. Sonny.
It isn't.
Give me a call. I'll hook you up.
Okay.
Easy peasy. It's just an overlay. It's
Okay.
honest to goodness,
I thought
it's a
so.
it's a camera
That-
overlay. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually what I was going to ask is, are you using it as a camera overlay? And that's obvious. That's the way I'm using it. And I thought, is there something else, another way? But it's camera overlay that you
I don't
guys are
think
using.
so. So you have video camera, video. You have what's it called on your computer?
Video pencil.
No. That's on the iPad. What's the app called on here? It's video pencil camera.
Q present.
No,
Video
so
pencil camera is not
use
required.
QCam. Right, you can use QCam, and that includes all of it, but you don't need that. You can also just download Video Pencil Camera on the Mac, and then it will connect automatically from Video Pencil Camera to the iPad.
So I would need to because now that I'm turned off NDI, I have no idea how to use Video Pencil with Ecamm. I would.
So you need to have
download
Video
what you're
Pencil
saying.
Camera on your computer, and then basically you just add that as a camera overlay.
Gotcha.
Phil,
Once I
you were
get
shaking
that
your
out.
head
So
no.
that's
Yeah, I don't believe that's right. And I might be wrong. So I'm open to it. But I don't. Michael always said that you don't need to have Video Pencil Camera on the Mac. Video Pencil running on your iPad should theoretically be enough, and it would show up as a camera, for instance, in
And
Ecamm.
camera switcher, because I'm looking at all
Yeah.
of my sources right now in camera switcher. My iPad is showing up as an iPad.
And you're
well,
running Video Pencil on your iPad now?
I have Video Pencil open on my iPad, but this iPad that Video Pencil is on is not showing up as a camera source, as a source in the
Okay.
camera switcher.
So David might well be right. And does it then run in the background without me knowing it?
Yes. So Video
Okay.
Pencil Camera just kind of runs on your computer, and in Video Pencil, it will the source will default to Video Pencil Camera, because what Video Pencil Camera basically does is it ingests Ecamm, and it ingests Video Pencil the Video Pencil into Ecamm, and then it ingests Ecamm and sends it back to Video Pencil. It basically does the transport without having to use NDI.
I think Alec Johnson, I think it's at Take One Tech. If you go to his channel and search at Take One Tech, he does a video on Video Pencil. And something you're saying, Phil, is ringing a bell, because I think he talks about that specific thing about whether or not you have to use but I don't remember what the answer is, and I don't want to cause confusion.
So let me actually I'll bring this up for everyone. So this is these are the settings for Video Pencil Camera. So here's the app down here. Oh, wait a second. Tatiana told me that I should have a button for this, so now I have a button. So here's Video Pencil Camera that I put it right next to Ecamm, so I remember it's always running. And then up here, send Video Pencil's output back to my streaming software over NDI when connected. So I want to get what's happening on my iPad over here, and then what are my connection settings? Do I want to connect to the iPad over NDI? No, I just want it to do it automatically for me.
That's yeah. So that setting that you've just gone to is a Video Pencil Camera setting that I do not have, and I'm not running, and I'm able to quite easily show you that I can use Video Pencil.
Right. By the way, it's not that it's not using NDI. It actually is. It's just using it's using local NDI rather than.
It's yeah. It's using. My brain's gone dead, but you're right.
Yeah.
But I am able to use Video Pencil without running Video Pencil Camera, and I.
So then you're probably using NDI. Then you probably have NDI turned on.
I'm not sure it's 100% a reason that I don't have to use Video Pencil Camera on the Mac.
But do you have NDI turned on the iPad? Is that how you're transporting it?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh yeah. Well, that explains it. So there are two ways to do this. You can either use NDI, or you can use Video Pencil Camera, which is also built into QCam. So either one of those, one of the apps or NDI.
Is there an advantage? Like, do I need to download Video Pencil Camera? Should I just stick with NDI? Is it?
I'll be honest with you. I don't really understand. I mean, look, NDI is what Video Pencil does is it makes a direct connection, and it tells Video Pencil what to default to. Because you have multiple cameras, and so hypothetically it could decide to choose a different camera as opposed to the NDI camera. But I'll be honest with you, if it works,
Michael simply says here, if you connect with AirPlay or HDMI, you can save battery by disabling the NDI output. So if you theoretically, if you do not use NDI, it maybe saves battery. It's never been an issue for me.
That's interesting. I never have my iPad unplugged, so I never even thought about the battery piece.
Well,
that's
mine is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's smart. Yeah. You're right. NDI is draining on the battery. Yeah.
But is it draining so much that we need to worry about it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I've got mine plugged into power. I've got the iPad continuously plugged into power, so I never have that issue.
Anyway,
I'm not sure I'd lose sleep over it, Tatiana.
No, I don't think so. It was just interesting because I was wondering if I was really losing out by having an old iPad, because you can get an old iPad for $5 and get this thing working, and so that's why I've got two iPads. I've got one running my numpad application, which is like the Stream Deck but better. And then I've got this for the Video Pencil camera, and you can run it on cheap second-hand iPads. Both things.
By the way, it's not just old iPads, but if you're using Video Pencil, don't upgrade your iPad to like the beta software because it doesn't work. it breaks. I mean, it works still, but there's something that's broken. So he pushed a fix out, but it's also the new ones. So
I remember you told me that last time, David. So I did not update the Video Pencil iPad.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Thanks, guys, for answering that. Indulging me.
I'm not sure we answered anything.
Happy to experiment. Not sure how that we answered anything, but maybe there's just more questions now. But
well, you clarified that I was doing it right, and I wasn't going. But I still hate to say it's not as clean a connection as it should. I think it should be, or could be.
That's where Video Pencil camera comes in. I think. I think that's where it comes in.
Interesting.
So, are you saying that I should download something from my Mac called Video Camera?
What I'm saying is, if it's working, don't touch it. But if you're getting started, or if maybe there's something broken, then I would do it. I don't want to say the right way. I would do it the way that Michael suggests. And
Ecamm is what he would suggest.
Correct, but if you're not using all the other features of Ecamm, you don't need that, and it ends up being bloatware. I mean, Ecamm is a fantastic tool. I don't need it, and I don't use it. So, but it is a very cool tool. And essentially what Ecamm is in addition to all the other stuff that Ecamm does, he has built this into, he's built the camera stuff into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sonny, if you don't like it, you can delete it and do it a different way.
Absolutely.
Right. I did bring my pencil because I'm with my parents, but I did bring my Stream Deck, my iPad, my computer, and my Video Pencil. I've just got to remind myself where I packed it. But I'm going to do that for the next time I visit. I will have that done.
For what it's worth, by the way, you don't need the pencil. I mean, I draw all the time.
So sort of weird that I'm able to just draw on it.
Yeah.
Just doing.
I just draw with my finger all the time. I almost never use my pencil.
I do like using the pencil if I need to write words, like a lot. It's just more accurate than with. But if it's just like, I like the little glowy thingy sometimes to use.
I did buy that. I did buy that because I saw you using it and it looks so magical, sparkly.
Ooh,
Unless you're a
Sonny, I think if you are able to draw on your iPad over the face, or over
Yeah.
whatever you see as a screen.
Yeah.
The thing you're missing is using Ecamm, a camera scene, which specifies that it's the video pencil camera scene.
Right. And if I
That
was,
would be
and right now I try that. So I will be working on that. Yeah.
okay.
Hey, you know what,
It's an
everyone?
overlay. So you have a camera overlay with video pencil specified. Make
Okay.
sure it fills your screen, and then you can draw to your heart's content.
Okay. I'll be looking
Just,
for
I'm not entirely sure that you can actually download video pencil
Video
camera
pencil.
anymore.
Yeah,
I
I
just did.
think-
I just did, so
Oh,
you
did you?
can.
Oh, where'd you
Oh.
download it from? Because I
The
always
app,
see.
the App Store on
Yep.
my desktop.
Oh, the Mac App Store. Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, because on his website, all he links to is QCam Presenter.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I didn't see it on his website either. But then once you told me the name,
Yeah.
I just looked it up and it
Oh,
came up on the Mac
interesting.
Store.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. I didn't know that.
So I did. So thank you. Now I have another thing to check out that I shouldn't really be checking out. But I'm
Our
gonna
goal
stick with
is
I'm gonna
to
stick with
begin-
NDI. That's been working for me currently. So I'm just
Absolutely.
gonna stick with that
Mhm.
unless I don't have to.
Hey, by the way, I did get the Sony EV10 Mark II.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I did
Oh, you
get
did
that.
get
Good
the
for you.
ZV-10 Mark
Yeah,
II.
I figured I might as well
Congratulations.
get that one since I was buying one anyway. And I ended up getting a couple of $100 off of it. So that was really helpful too. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So I got that and a Viltrox lens that Adrian Salisbury suggested. And I didn't have anything else to really compare it to, but supposedly that's going to be the 24 millimeter should make my background at home at my house blurry. Although Osbot probably can make it blurry too, huh? I got the Osbot light, tiny.
actually,
Oh,
no.
nice.
Yeah,
I think it can blur.
I think it can maybe. Yeah, mine isn't set up to
I've
be able to
seen
do that, but-
videos of it with the blurred
Yeah, I think you're
background.
right.
I brought it, but I may return it. I still have a little time. I don't really think I needed it. I got it because I like the idea you move, it moves with you, but I really don't move that much. So
You know what it's great for though? So
Uh-uh.
I've got one over my shoulder here, and so I use it for different types of shots, right? So I've got an over the shoulder shot, I've got the Stream Deck shot, so I can have it move in like that. I don't know what the heck this button does, but it just goes there. Well, it's not very exciting.
Okay.
But the idea, so even though I don't move that much,
right.
if I wanted to capture different things in my room, I don't have to have multiple cameras. I can have one camera and just have different buttons to move around. Yeah.
I do like that idea because definitely I always love the shots where if you turn, now you have that shot. I love that. And I also have an extra camera that I might do that with, but I definitely did want some shot variation. So
I take mine if I'm like going to teach or do something on the road versus taking my entire camera and lens.
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely, Randall.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, back to what you said, Sonny, tell us you're a content creator without telling us you're a content creator. Having another bag that has a Stream Deck, 2 cameras,
Well,
iPad, laptop.
I know, right? But my laptop is very small. It's a M3 14-inch though. And so it's not so bad. I have this suitcase right here that I have that my iPad and stuff could go in here. And I just put it inside my backpack. And then I have my real suitcase. So that's how I travel.
Mm.
I am this close to
Mhm.
getting the new the M4 MacBook Pro.
Okay.
I do not need it,
I know what you mean. I didn't need the M3.
but holy mackerel, this M4 is such a jump.
Wow.
Oh my God. And I also want the mini though. I also want the Mac Mini, which is so damn cute. But again,
Well, first, I swore up and down I'd never be so far in the Apple ecosystem that upgrades would bother me. I mean, I had the iPhone 6 until I went up to the 15, right? But something about the computer upgrades, like, I don't need it. I have a Mac Studio. I have
I agree 100%.
at my office. I don't need. And then I was in Best Buy yesterday, and I walked by the Apple table, and the Mac Mini was on the table. Cute's the right word. It is so small. And I'm like, I think of a reason I need that. Not the 256 version, but
Listen,
Wow.
Black Friday,
Maybe
Cyber Monday
multiple
are coming
screens?
up very soon. So there'll be
That's
so
right.
many good deals for Black Friday and Cyber Monday if you're in the market for new stuff.
I'm skint out. And you know, I have that that gear acquisition syndrome. I've had it for a while, but I'm about over it now. I hope I'm not gonna watch anything on a computer Black Friday to Cyber Monday.
That's smart.
even Roadcaster Video interested me, and Ecamm does everything and much more, other than obviously it's a software versus a hardware. But I thought, can I use that on the road? And then I thought, no.
The Roadcaster Video is an amazing piece of hardware, but you're right. There's zero
But
reason to, if you're using Ecamm, there's zero
Yeah.
reason to have that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. Can I just say again that I am so like struck, Tatiana, by what you did with that studio space.
Yeah.
I just love it so much. I'm
Thank
so
you
comfortable
so
when I
much.
look at you. Like I just love it so much.
Aw.
Sorry.
And I just added the second light here, but thank you very much. It was a lot of hard work. You know, Ben is amazing. He did a fantastic job. He custom built everything,
Oh, nice.
and I'm so happy. I think I feel really good in the space myself too. It really feels comfortable.
Wow.
I'll give
Martin,
my
I know you
What-
have to head out, so it's good to see you, Martin. Thank you for coming by. I'll see you again soon, and please let me know how big that folder is for you.
Yeah, I won't sleep tonight if I have a look now. So next time.
Next time, another time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin.
Okay.
But yeah, it
Take
is
it
easy,
coming
guys.
up.
Martin.
Let's recap, because I think the consensus in the group was that maybe different profiles aren't the way to go for the majority of us at this time, but definitely folder organization to help keep everything clear. It seems like it's a majority vote. So just to reiterate what I think I heard a lot of you guys saying, but still, even within that, there is a need for different profiles, you know. So April, you might find yourself definitely needing one profile that's specific to your voice acting things, because that's obviously audio focused and just could be different versus some of the things that you are running through your church. So there'll be just different things for everybody to consider. I think the main thing is to find a system that works for you, where you're going to easily be able to find your things, organize your things. And then one thing that I do suggest to everybody is to create, whether it's a profile as a template or a folder with your templates, that those will be the ones where you keep your main things and then you copy from that. I would definitely suggest that as a really strong, healthy practice as you start to build your content. And then just know things are going to change. You're going to change things up or have new things. But April, I know you said you were new. Martin, who just left, he is one of the people in our community who creates profiles on his website.
I'm genuinely nervous to release this.
Sorry, I clicked on a link.
Oh, I was like, who was that? That was none of us talking. I didn't see anybody's lips moving.
I clicked on a link and from the chat, and it was at a commercial. You know, when the commercials come on.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was open.
Yeah, so Martin McKenna has a store where he sells profiles, and he has a lot of stuff that are free. And then let's see. I know are you in the Ecamm Facebook community, April?
Yes.
Okay, so if you look up there, I know it will be there, but I'm pretty sure what is this store called? Something Selfie. I don't know why I can never think of the name of Martin's. Anyway, yes, streamprofiles.selfie store. Streamprofiles.selfie store. I'll just pop it in the chat. Also, Anna and Fulgens have is it Gumroad? Gumroad store.
I downloaded some of theirs, and then also from.
Oh, good. So you know about Anna and Fulgens,
Mhm.
and then Live Streaming Pros is the other one.
And I downloaded some of theirs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I bought some chairs.
those are the three. Those are the three that I know: Anna and Fulgens, Martin, and Live Streaming Pros for buying pre-made profiles and assets and some fun stuff too.
Tatiana, did you ever figure out how to use the Brady Bunch one? I still
I
need
have
to.
that one too.
You got
Yeah,
it?
that
Did you
one.
use it? Did
I'm
you use
afraid
it?
of it though.
I have to figure out
Well,
how to make it work for me and have fun with it.
the truth is, I purchased it and I did not yet have a chance to use it. So
Yeah.
I have not used it. It was just a time thing, unfortunately. It definitely looks like fun, and then I never got a chance to use it. So, before we close out, what is a topic that you guys would be interested for next month? Or the other option is we don't set a particular topic and we leave it as a open discussion for questions or showing off certain things. But I did want to give you guys the opportunity for us to chat about it. Next month is December. So our meetup would be the
I
third
have no special
Tuesday.
questions for the moment. No.
Yep, the 17th.
Yep, December 17th. We'll be getting close to the end of the year. When is Hanukkah this year?
About the same time as Christmas, actually.
Okay. So it will be
Yeah, it's
before Hanukkah, it will be before Christmas, before
yeah.
the end of the year. My immediate thought was to talk about holiday and specialty scenes, but that's just the thought that popped in my mind because it's the holidays coming up. But that might be too late by the time December 17th comes around to talk about that. Anything on your minds, Phil or April? You're our
I don't have any
coordinator
special
for start
requests,
today.
but no, it's always good to chat and see what other things are going on, who's using what. But I don't have a specific. As I say, I've been using Ecamm for probably 6 years. I've lost count now how many years, but
You know what we could
it's good
do?
to meet other people.
You know what we could
Absolutely,
do
Phil.
that we've kind of already done it, so maybe it would be redundant. But like we talked about video pencil today, we talked about stream decks. I feel like there are so many, and we talked about Stream Alive a couple months ago. There's so many add-ons that enrich Ecamm. I don't know. I wonder if we could do like a Secret Santa, like everyone brings an add-on gift to suggest to everyone else, something that you use in conjunction
Oh,
with
that's
Ecamm or something like
cute.
that. I don't know.
It's a great idea. I already know.
Oh, good.
Okay, but we can't all choose Video Pencil.
No, but like we had today about Video Pencil, what I liked is about the NDI, how to use it or not. What are these kind of, what do you need? What don't you need? Sometimes you see a lot of stuff coming up. You need this, you need that to make it working. But I like to keep it simple. And if I can get rid of something, then please do. and maybe we have some tips and tricks for each other that we how we use it or.
It's a little late, but we could ask Michael to come on sometime.
Yeah, actually, we could.
I'll ping him in Discord, and he's asleep now, I'm sure, but I'll send him a message to see if he's able to come.
So next month will be a bit of an Ecamm Secret Santa where we bring an Ecamm. What did you call them?
Either
An Ecamm
something
tool.
in Ecamm that you think is a gift, or maybe an add-on that you use.
Bring an Ecamm add-on you love.
Let me send
Or it
him
might
this.
be maybe even a Mac thing that you just happen to use with Ecamm, but you might use it with other things, perhaps.
Yeah, an Ecamm Mac, because that's what I was thinking is like I probably will find something in SetApp that I can talk about to share about. It would be a good add-on.
Yeah, it would be good.
Or if you're creative, a holiday scene to use.
Yes. bring an Ecamm or Mac add-on / holiday scene add-on or holiday scene you love. Okay, that will work. That'll be fun too. Oh, and your favorite drink. Plus favorite drink. Okay. And maybe we'll play some. Okay, I know what I'll do is I'll plan to bring a couple of games for us to play in between some of these things. So I'll plan for us to have a little bit of fun next month too together. Just play some fun trivia games, or I'll figure out games. I'm good with games.
Okay, and
Awesome.
how holiday music
Okay,
has become on.
Tatjana, I have just one thing you had about we were talking about handbrake, and you said you had to do that question mark. I did just a few weeks. I remember that I replaced my handbrake because it was not working for a long time. I had still that pineapple, but it did not work. And I thought, okay, maybe it's this app is gone. It's not working on the new Macs, etc. So I'm using that since 10, 20, and 15 years ago. I thought maybe it's gone, like many things just disappear. And so I have a lot of old stuff, but I reinstalled it and it works again. So maybe that's
I
an
at the
option.
time I tried reinstalling it, deleting it and reinstalling it, and it kept happening. So then I just switched to Shutter Encoder.
Oh,
But
but I put on I installed it, and then it did not see my old handbrake and said not to make an update. He put in handbrake 2, so he put it next to it, and I get rid of the old one and said the 2 make just handbrake, and then it functions.
Yeah, they had a major update, and I think that killed off a lot of handbrake where you got the question mark, because
August, yeah.
essentially the Mac does that when it loses connection to the app. So the question mark is, where is this app that I've got an icon
Yes.
for?
Yeah, or
But
just
the latest version is
old,
1.82.
yeah, or just an old version that is not working on this Mac. So it's only working on maybe Intel and not for the M's versions.
interesting. Well, thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah, but I was looking up. It was on 24th of August. Was the latest handbrake. I thought
The
maybe
latest
it can be,
update.
yeah, but because it's Apple stuff, so it knows how it works internally, and it is not a third party.
Nice. All right. We have an
Awesome,
agenda.
everybody. All right, so we
Yes.
got a good plan for next month. See you everybody December 17th or inside of Discord. And then Phil and April, if you'd like me to add you to our just reminders list, I will just drop you my email and cell phone in the chat right now. I should have hit my Stream Deck key. What was I thinking? But email and phone number in the chat. So if you want me to add your emails, that just to send out a reminder beforehand. But on the ecammforeducators.com website that David creates for us, links and resources are there. Also the link to the YouTube channel for replays, past gatherings, and some resources. So if you have any resources you want to add, just let us know. David adds those onto the website. And thank you, everybody. What a lovely time today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Have a
not
lovely
forget,
rest of the
I
day.
put there's
Happy
some kind
Thanksgiving.
of there's an Ecamm calendar that you can connect to your calendar in Apple. So it's and then you see
Subscribe
all
to
the
the Ecamm.
activities. So then you
Good
have also
idea.
the education. You never miss it.
That's a great idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, beautiful,
All right,
everybody.
guys.
Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your month. See you guys